What's up? Welcome to the live stream. How are you doing? Welcome to the hot oven. Basically just means spewing a bunch of bullshit. And yeah, we're gonna kind of just talk. Um, One of the topics I was asked to talk about was uh, why the U.S. government is shit. And there's a lot of different theories behind why the U.S. government is shit. One of them, well, a lot of different, I would say, a lot of different spots you can look at in history where the U.S. could be pointed at, and it was shit. One of them being back in one of the earliest times you can think about it is during the presidents in U.S. history came up with the idea of speak softly and carry a big stick. Um, Actually, wait. Before that, there was the Monroe Doctrine, which was the U.S. basically saying to Europe and other Eastern Hemisphere nations that if you were to step into the Western Hemisphere, it would be an attack on America, and we would handle it swiftly. At that point, we saw ourselves as the police force in America, in the Western Hemisphere. And it was the first sign of the imperialistic government that we know and love today that basically pretty much went to and started basically the imperialistic government. Um, then during Theodore Roosevelt's time as president, he discussed how he basically added the theory of speak soft and carry a big stick, which was the his idea of military ideology, where um, you kind of just ask questions, like strike first, ask questions later, and that was another time in history when the U.S. showed its militaristic power, or not military, its imperialistic power, and it's no, the first time it showed its militaristic power in such a way that it was like a threat to anyone, if I remember correctly. Yeah, and then during the early '90s, there was World War One. We got involved in after the one of our after a civilian ship was uh, blown up in Eastern Hemisphere waters near Germany, and the U.S. took that as an act of war. We joined the war, and we basically came in and helped defeat the Axis powers um, of Germany, Austria-Hungary. After that time, there was the U.S. developed or the rest of the world developed the League of Nations, which was basically um, the early signs of of um, fuck of the United Nations, and the League of Nations basically didn't have the backing of the U.S. It was very loosely knitted together. It wasn't very stable. It had no power. Um, because and after World War One, as the Treaty of Versailles, and the U.S. basically not wanting to give power to the League of Nations basically made it more difficult for them to have control because the U.S. had a lot of militaristic might at the time. I mean, we had shotguns, we were mowing people down, and yeah, um, then World War II came around, and we joined that war in 1941 after the attack on Pearl Harbor, and we dropped the two nuclear bombs, and that's when the Truman Doctrine, which I forget, let me look that up real quick. The Truman Doctrine basically um, never mind. The Truman Doctrine, actually, no, yeah. Truman Doctrine was a foreign policy implemented by Harry S. Truman in 1948, where it basically turned Greece and Turkey into our little provinces in the middle, and not Middle East, well, in Eastern Europe towards Russia, because at the time, there was the start of the Cold War, the U.S. nuclear bombs on in Japan, thus showing the world that we have these incredible weapons that no one else we thought had at the time. Then, the Fuchs and uh, fuck, whatever the other guy's name was, basically gave the plans to um, Russia, and Russia created their own nuclear bomb, thus creating the Cold War, the starting the Cold War, really. And then we had to fight the spread of communism and the spread of and spread freedom, which is basically ourselves in the U.S. Um, basically, just putting super right-winged politicians into governments that we had no say in what they did. So a lot of these countries did have peaceful election. Well, not in the early. No, they did not. There was a lot of revolutions, but the issue was that the U.S. always was on the side of like the people who weren't the communists, but then they became super right wing international, like countries like Iraq, Afghanistan, Iran, other Middle Eastern countries. They were basically more violent, and we saw the rise of like the Taliban and ISIS and Saddam Hussein and Al Qaeda and other stuff like that. And that was all due to like revolutions and stuff. It was us trying to implement our foreign policy on the rest of the world after the Truman Doctrine and during other militaristic times during those years. Uh, that's when the U.S. really started showing their power, and because of those, we started putting more and more money into there because we saw more and more money getting made out of it, especially in those Middle Eastern countries where there was a lot of oil, and in Africa where there was uranium. Actually, the Congo was a big part of a lot of revolutions and stuff during the Cold War because of they had the largest uranium stockpile in the world, I believe. And uranium is used for your nuclear weapons and such, and nuclear power. But yeah, the other reasons is there's been a lot of propaganda struck against a lot of stuff in this country due to just selfishness and whatnot, like Verano, which is hi um Verano, which is a company in which is a cannabis company. Uh, its parent company is CVS, and CVS makes a lot of money in a lot of other places, basically propagandizing weed and having anti ads against cannabis and stuff like that. And it just goes to show you, like in this country, like not only could you just make money against cannabis, but you can also make money with cannabis, and like and it kind of makes the country go to shit for because it's kind of like against, I don't know, it's just stupid. But anyways, what's up, dude? How you doing? Um, yeah, I've been on here longer than I thought I would have been. God, I'm guessing there's a really long delay. Um, but yeah, I'm kind of like, What else? What else? 6ix9ine's getting out of jail. It's kind of funny. Yeah. Oh fuck. Um. What else? He's a rapper. He's a rainbow-haired rapper. He's like really fucked. He's also like he was in jail because yeah, the rainbow-haired rapper. You know who he is. You live in like New England. You should know who he is. Or the Northeast, whichever one. Um, yeah. What else? Um, I don't know. What else, man? Okay, cool. Um, but yeah, dude, this quarantine really sucks. I hate being stuck at home. This is honestly one of the worst things to happen in my life, especially due to like the amount of just like hatred I'm dealing with. Um, Anger and whatnot. I just like want to like go do what I want to do. Like I want to go drive my car. I really just want to drive my car. It's really all I want to do. Is just like go be in my car and be away from everything. Hello. Um, um, yeah, dude, I really just want to like, I want to go on like a hike. Dude, I have a fuck won't let me use it because of this quarantine. It's ridiculous. My parents are fascist, bro. My parents are fascist. Mm-hmm. There's a couple places near me. It's mostly like Great Falls and stuff, but the problem with Great Falls is that there's a lot of people there. It's just kind of not fun to be at, especially when you're just trying to be away from everyone because part of hiking is like not being near people. But like no one's staying home, of course, because no one's taking this shit seriously. Have you seen what they're doing in Italy? So the Italian mayors are like yelling at people to stay inside. That shit's really funny. Like, there's been videos of it on YouTube and stuff. It's pretty ridiculous. Yeah, I saw it on Trevor Noah. Trevor Noah is awesome. Great comedian. Really smart guy. Dude, I'm gonna do more research on the MK Ultra project. That shit's interesting as fuck. I want to get like information on. Oh, that's sick. That's how you saw him. Ding, ding, ding. But yeah. Thanks for tuning in, dude. Jesus, $80 for a ticket? That's not worth it. I would have fought him. I would have fought him for him to. I would have made him fight me to pay him $80. It would have been hands. Like that's cool and all, but like, homeboy, you're not like Kevin Hart. You don't demand $80 for a seat. Damn, if he's really like that, then that makes my whole fucking perception of him change. Ew, I'm sorry. Bro, you know what was super extra? You know what's super extra? Trump literally lying through his teeth this entire time about the fucking coronavirus. The man's a fucking retard. Greedy people are fucking stupid. Dude, you know Cristiano Ronaldo's about to reach $1 billion? Cristiano Ronaldo is also a rapist. Yeah, Cristiano Ronaldo, he's a he's a soccer player. And I think Trump's going to get reelected. The Democrats are tearing each other apart more than they're trying to help each other win. Absolutely atrocious. Absolutely atrocious. The reason why is because none of them will snitch on each other, and it's a very easy crime to get away with. It's not like murder. Although murder is kind of easy to get away with. Nah, not the way. Joe Biden is also like, he also has like really bad, this is ironic. Joe Biden has a really bad memory. He has Alzheimer's or something, or dementia, like early on, like bad of whichever one it is, and you can clearly tell because he never remembers what the fuck he says. In 2007 or 2008, Joe Biden said it was surprising that Obama was so articulate and neat and stuff. He literally like was like he's like Joe Biden makes the assumption that also like all black people are like disgusting. Joe Biden does not like black people. He doesn't like Jewish people. Joe Biden is a racist. You heard it here, ladies and gentlemen. Joe Biden is a racist. The Democratic Party's full of racism and disgustingness. If anyone who like supports the Democratic Party. It's just, yeah. Right. We live in an extremely right-wing government. It doesn't matter who the president or who the governor, or who the senator is, or who whatever is. We will always make the option where making money is the first choice that we have to do. We have ways. The government is set up at this point to basically only help the rich, not help the poor, and we're shit out of luck at this point. This is just the world that we have to live in until it changes, and I don't see it changing. I don't see it changing anytime soon. So, um, but yeah, man, we just need new people in life. We need. I mean, if people really followed the Constitution the way you're supposed to, we're supposed to have overthrown the government by now. It was a right from our forefathers and from them, God. Um, Basically, that it's our right to overthrow an unjust, corrupt government. That's why we have the Second Amendment. The National Guard's direct um, impediment of our natural rights as American citizens. Um, the second the military turns on the U.S., they become unconstitutional, and therefore they're no longer the U.S. military. They are a private military for those in charge, because we are a second world country. We have we are running out of money for people. People are dying because there's no money. People are killing themselves over it. It's horrific. We need a change in this country, and it's not going to happen with who's in charge now and the what's in charge now. Our generation, the Gen X, millennial, whatever, Gen Z, whatever, we need to change everything. This needs to stop. Our president can't be president, but the issue, like, we can't. Everything's just so ingrained in bullshit. I don't know. We probably did. We probably print $1 trillion every day just to give to fucking what's his name, Jeff Bezos. Which Jeff Bezos fucking I would Jeff Bezos needs to be burned on $1 million. He's a horrific person. He has absolutely no. He is an absolutely horrific person for what he does to people. Well, it's honestly horrific the way he treats people, and he will constantly get away with it because he'll pay off the U.S., pay off the U.S., and pay out the U.S. I mean, the Pentagon gave him a blank check to move one of the headquarters to pick D.C. as the new headquarters for Amazon. That's why he bought the Washington Post. He's using it to publicize his corruption. It's disgusting. It's horrific. But, it's okay because he has a lot of money. But, yeah. But I think this is going to be it. Ray, I appreciate you coming to the stream. I was expecting more people, but I'm glad that you are here. Hopefully, I'll see you again. Peace.